Hi everyone, my name is Charlie and this is Charlie.
Hiya.
And welcome to It's a Charlie Thing. We are in a bit of a rush today, so it's going to be quite protracted. There have been many things that have tried to prevent this 5th episode from happening. We are already calling this the cursed 5th episode. I've supposed to have had builders that then cancelled, so we rearranged everything. Now Charlie's got issues with a dryer, so he might arrive at any minute, the man who's going to fix it, not a dryer. And then technological issues abounded this morning. Children abounded this morning.
Yeah,
so
it's just been one thing after the other.
You are going to get an episode. You are going to get something. It might be rushed. We don't know. We don't know how this is going to turn out. But one thing that I always have to ask you, Charlie, is how are you?
I'm okay. I'm going to say I'm okay with a touch wood touching the wooden desk in front of me. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to get this. We've got this.
We got to streamline everything today. We got no time for tangents. No time to be the Charlies we are.
There will always be tangents. There's always time for tangents, Charlie.
There's always time for tangents. There's always time for tea, and there is always time for a cocktail. Anyway, Charlie, what do we have in store for these lovely folks today?
So we have got, obviously it's the beginning of the month, so we're going to go through a few little new releases, paperbacks, etc. Then we're going to be talking about an initiative that is worldwide. So I was going to go talk with you about the National Year of Reading, going into a bit of that. So we've got our currently reading.
All right then, let's start wherever you want to start.
I was on the Libraries Connect website and spotted this. The 5th of February is the Time to Talk Day. Have you heard of this, Charlie?
I've heard of the phrase, but I'm not quite sure what it involves.
It's a day where it's about the power of being able to talk about your own experiences and turn them into something positive. It's just about the power of, I guess, sharing and opening up with people. And so this kind of follows on very well from the last episode that we've just filmed with our lovely Kerry. If you missed that episode, go back to it. It was amazing. There were so many recommendations in there. So it's just a day to encourage everyone to talk more and open up about their mental health. But it is a national thing on the 5th of February.
Okay.
One of the things it says is you're not only helping yourself and the people around you in that conversation, but you're also helping to break down barriers and so that other people can feel more comfortable about talking about their mental health. So it's all about that.
That's definitely something Kerry mentioned in the last video as well. So
we're just carrying on that conversation really, and it is a day that happens on the 5th of February, so that's something to be noted. Okay. Another thing that is to be noted in the February calendar this week is National Storytelling Week. Did you know that, Charlie?
I really like how every week there seems to be something that you recognise that Charlie knows nothing about. And
no, I don't.
No, I there's no issue there. It's just, it reminds me how many moons ago I would have definitely known all of this, but as I've tried to avoid this whole thing of living online and just disappear into the world, there's so much that I don't see anymore.
National Storytelling Week happening already. It started from the 31st of January and it finishes the 8th of February. So as we're hearing this, it's going on till the end of the week. It's a joyful annual opportunity to celebrate the power of stories. And the theme for 2026 is speaking stories into darkness.
Yeah, no, I know some fantastic storytellers. It is a profession. It's an art form that I just wholeheartedly admire, because back in the day when I was doing drama and those little theatre productions you do at school, learning lines, it's like, oh my goodness. So the idea of the way that they memorize all of these things just astounds me, and they treat it like proper theatre. There are some brilliant, absolutely amazing storytellers out there that just bring a work to life. And if you get the opportunity to go and watch a storyteller, I recommend it.
It's like spoken word poetry. I love all of that as well. It's another form of sharing stories.
Yeah.
And this is what this initiative really is about, all various different forms of storytelling. So it's just encouraging people. And then following on quite appropriately from that is the National Year of Reading. This is a huge initiative. It's a UK-wide campaign designed to inspire more people to make reading a regular part of their lives. When I was looking it up, it said that this is the biggest reading initiative the country has ever seen. This is just the beginning. It's just literally been launched fairly recently. There was a big launch event in the Emirates Stadium, which was huge. So I think there was loads of celebrities, etc. there.
I wasn't there.
The ambition is to transform reading for generations. They're holding basically events throughout the year, this is going to be, because obviously it's the National Year of Reading, so it's throughout the year. I think like in February alone, there's going to be 33 events across the country that they're hosting. So I will, again, all of these things will be linked, the websites will be linked in the descriptions because they're so interesting. There's loads of PDFs for younger readers. February is about encouraging empathy.
Just on the back of that as well, with the Year of Reading and all the events and everything, my events start back up in February as well.
That's rather exciting.
Myself and Margaret Holbrook are off on another tour of Stockport libraries to discuss our crime fiction, our writing of crime fiction, and our histories and everything to do that. We did it for National Crime Reading Month last year, and we're about to start again on the 11th of February, and that's going to be everything to do with our crime novels. I wonder whether they booked us in February because of the reading thing.
Maybe. I don't know. There's so many exciting things to do with it. So if you've got kids 3 to 16, they've got 2 downloadable guides filled with gorgeous recommendations. Highly recommend picking those up.
Off the back of that, after talking about the National Year of Reading, what do we need when we're reading? We need books. So Charlie has got some appropriate, some fantastic, I'm hoping, February releases for you to hear about.
The first book I've got that I was going to talk about, just because it jumped out at me, is Crux by Gabriel Tallent. Have you heard of this, Charlie?
I have heard of this writer.
It says it's a heart-stopping story of friendship, thrill-seeking and defying expectations. This explosive second novel from the best-selling author, here we go, of my absolute darling. Dan and Tamara are 2 Californian teenagers growing up dirt poor in the shadows of the Joshua Tree National Park, one of the world's greatest rock climbing meccas. Tama's mother holds no ambition for her mouthy, queer, truant-playing, snaggletooth daughter, who everyone but Dan believes to be a troublemaker.
The one that jumped out at me was heart-stopping.
Yeah, heart-stopping.
How in the good Lord's name am I supposed to read a book if it stopped me heart?
I mean, I don't know. How are you?
Honestly, these blurb writers are getting on the hyperbolic, but anyway.
Did I say when that was out? That's out the 5th of February. So that's out this week, people that are listening. Right. Another one that's out the 5th of February is one that jumped out from the cover. It's called Holy Boy by Lee Heejoo. It's a black with red and like turquoisey blue kind of it's very graphic, like a graphic cover, isn't it? So not that you need to know about the cover.
Yeah, we don't need to know about the cover. We need to know about the book.
So the publisher's synopsis says, 1 idol, 4 fans, worship's never been bloodier.
It's one of them.
It says, more than a little unhinged, Holy Boy is an exhilarating descent into the dark side of devotion, and it's translated from the Korean by Jo Hyun-hee Lee. Yeah, to me, it just made me think of my lovely friend Jennifer. I think this could be one that she might want to check out.
From the blurb, I know that there's quite a few books that tackle that topic.
And that's out, like I said, the 5th of February. There's another one that has been talked about a few places I've seen online, but I'm going to talk about it here anyway. It's called Lost Lambs by Madeline. Cash, the funny and compassionate new literary novel that turns family dysfunction into an art form. On the cover, there's a little lamb. By the title, you would guess that.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of family dysfunction, not going to lie.
There's some of the blurbs say loud, hilarious, shocking and sensitive, a voice like no other.
Okay, Charlie, you might have chosen a book there that I would be interested in. The other 2, I was very happy to mock. This one, I am thinking of once we finish recording here, I'm going to be going and looking this book up for myself. So, well done.
I think it's on NetGalley.
Ooh, there we go. I mean, let's not add to the number of NetGalley books I have unread.
Next book I've got on here is Jean by Madeline Dunnigan. So it says, one afternoon in 1976, teenagers Jean and Tom share an almost imperceptible look across the grounds of Compton Manor, a boarding school for boys with problems. Their gaze marks a secret intimacy, one defined as much by violence as by friendship and desire. As the boys' connection deepens, so does the risk that surrounds it. Jean, son of a single mother, Jewish on a scholarship, forever an outsider, wonders whether the relationship might offer a way of a life marked by alienation. But what if the only truth path to freedom is to disappear altogether? I mean, it just sounds really good. It sounds something that I would like to read. The next book is Floodlines by Saleem Haddad, a sweeping multi-generational generational saga that traces the fractured bonds between 3 Iraqi British sisters. And it's set in the summer of 2014. Spanning continents and decades, Floodline grapples with grief and memory and charts the emotional and political aftershocks of centuries of war and revolution in Iraq and beyond. Inspired by the artistic legacy of Haddad's great uncle, the Iraqi modernist painter Jawad Saleem, Floodlines explores family, queerness, and the wounds of neocolonialism in haunting, visceral prose. So yeah, to me, I mean, obviously these are all very Charlie-ish words.
Yeah, I was enjoying everything that you said until you got to the word visceral.
I mean, you don't like that, do you?
One day we might be doing like a thing that we like, things we like and things we don't like in terms of literature, in terms of blurbs and everything. But I hate the hyperbole. I do.
Yeah.
Visceral, heart-stopping, exhilarating. I'll decide that for myself.
Yeah, you don't need to be told that, do you? That's out the 12th of February.
Okay.
Then you've also got Strange Buildings by Uketsu, which is just the third in the series of their books, which that's out at the end of the month, the 26th of February. I still haven't read the first two, so but I know there's lots and lots of people that probably will be excited for this one.
So those are the February releases that Charlie wants you all to be interested in this month. Hopefully, they are going to be some Charlie books, as in books that we both like. But as this Charlie, it won't be purchasing any new books anytime soon. It might be a long time coming.
One thing I forgot to mention was at the beginning of the episode, we've been talking about our book to movie adaptations / book to screen adaptations. I think that's probably a better word for it. I was going to quickly touch on the fact that obviously The People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, I watched that this last week.
Oh,
and so did my daughter, and it was
I guessed it would be.
If you're watching, let me know what your thoughts on it are. Oh my gosh, Charlie, it was bad.
Yeah.
The characters in this, the dialogue that they have between them, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe if you've read the book, the film will make a lot more sense. But to me, they were being very grumpy with each other. They weren't nice.
No, I had not heard good things about this film.
It's not good. I love a rom-com. You know, there's so many movies that I like, romantic things I love, but it was bad. I just couldn't. And then I asked my daughter to watch it because she made me watch it. I said afterwards, and she watched it and didn't like it either. So, so that's one thing I was just going to comment on because I'd said I was going to do it. Then the other thing is The Seven Dials by Agatha Christie has been put on Netflix, and we've been asked, one of our commenters, our lovely Amelia, has asked, have you seen this, Charlie? Are you planning on seeing this?
I don't know. This is one of those where I don't know whether you remember like the Geraldine McHugh, Julia Mackenzie Marple that was on ITV back in the day. And they would regularly adapt stories that weren't Miss Marple stories as Miss Marple stories because obviously there's only 13, so they were going to run out. Obviously, over the last few years, there have been a few adaptations all over the place. For me, it's going to depend on what the tone is. One of the things that I've liked about Agatha Christie adaptations in the past is that there's still been a warmth and a coziness to them. And something that I found with the recent adaptations is these are the ones that have been on the BBC and elsewhere. They felt very dark, very melancholic. Like they've shoved in all of this atmosphere that's felt incredibly forced. And I feel like with a lot of Agatha Christie stories, they were very much straight to the point, very plot focused. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't focus in on the characters. It's just that sometimes I'm a bit like, this is great in terms of building a character, but it's not this character. You've just put it in there because it's almost like they wanted to create a modern story, a modern thriller, but they just wanted to tack Agatha Christie's name on it to sell it. I'll see what other people's opinions are of this first before I venture towards it, because
I will watch it and then let you know my thoughts, even though I haven't read the book for that. So I haven't actually read the Seven Dials book, Seven Dials mystery book.
Nor have I, but there's a lot of Agatha Christie that I've not read, but I've already seen the adaptations of it. Like Halloween Party is now at the point where I don't know whether I ever read it because I've listened and seen so many different takes on it.
Well, I will report back next week.
Okay then.
So, and it's starring Martin Freeman and Helena Bonham Carter.
Now that I have blasted modern adaptations of Agatha Christie, let's head into our currently reading. What have we read over the last week? What are we reading? How are things going, Charlie?
Why don't you say about what you've read first? Because I think it's your turn to say about your week first. And I know you've got quite a few books you've read.
Okay, well, actually, there's the first two I can't really talk about because I still haven't properly figured out my opinions of them. So I had Women and Power by Mary Beard and Citizen by Claudia Rankine. And
I loved Citizen.
Well, Okay, well, I'll start with that one then. I have issues with it. I think that it says a lot and it has a lot to say, but I don't understand. Like, I know there's this big thing within poetry that if you call something a poem, it's a poem. But for me, the first 100 pages of this award-winning collection feels like essays and thoughts without any sort of form or rhythm to them. And whilst I can understand where the author is coming from and it builds an idea of what this collection is going to be and the themes and the ideas and everything surrounding that, in terms of poetry, I didn't see it. But I think that comes from me when it comes to poetry. A lot of the time, I'm basing it and my opinion and my like on how it sounds. And to me, there wasn't that here. The sound was essays.
I just found it really interesting. I just thought it was those. Well, to me, again, it's very snapshotty, isn't it? So you've got these like little vignette-y kind of things.
Towards the end, yes. But
yeah.
in that middle, the second section that focuses on Serena Williams and what she's experienced playing tennis and the way that referees have spoken about her and the way that the media has looked at her as a person. Yeah, like you said, I can see the snapshot bit. It was various snapshots from her career, yes. But again, to me, I just saw essays. But then when it got into like the poetic, what I saw as poetical content, and I could think about the way that it sounded and I could look at the way that the poet was using words, and then you can raise questions as to what's the poet, what's the narrator, and who is this narratorial voice? Who is this poem aimed towards? And that sort of thing. The second half felt like not disparate, but I had talking points, but also at the same time, like maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it's a good thing to then begin questioning why is this poetry? What makes this poetry? But also at the same time, it had me feeling the same way sometimes I felt with Rupi Kaur, which was this isn't necessarily poetry, it's making a statement and that's just the statement. Whereas for me, I needed something more poetic. I needed some more rhythm, assonance, consonants. I needed technique. And I didn't see that here.
That's fair enough. Everyone feels differently. Like I feel like with poetry, it's such a personal thing.
I think I should also mention that I'm not critiquing the content there. It's the execution that I think.
I don't know, is that worse? That's arguable.
You know, I mean, it won awards.
And I enjoyed it when I read it. It was a few years ago. I think I read it more than 3 or 4 years ago. But I don't know how long. When did it come out?
I didn't check that. This was just one that I'd bought from the charity shop.
I really enjoyed it.
Waiting to be read.
So, what's your next one? Did you say?
It's actually the final thing. The last thing that I read, which was The Beginner's Goodbye by Anne Tyler. And
you love Anne Tyler.
It was well, I didn't. That was the thing. I didn't used to like Anne Tyler. There is a video of me on YouTube where I said, if I never read another Anne Tyler book in my life, I would be happy. But then as I've grown older, I found that what I really like about Anne Tyler is the way that she writes the mundane. She highlights it, and generally it doesn't feel like she's writing overwrought prose. It just feels like the everyday. However, again, an issue I did have with this was the first chapter of the book, because I mentioned recently somewhere that I really don't need to be hooked by a writer. I would much prefer just to tell me the story. I need a writer who's going to be so confident in their prose that they don't need to try and hook me. And unfortunately, the first chapter of this book did. And that was based on this whole idea that this man has started to see his wife's ghost. And so the first chapter, you see him talking about how she appeared. And it's also one of the shortest chapters. It's a very minuscule bit. And then for 180 pages, you just go back and you see the events that led to her death. You see how they ended up becoming into, starting this relationship. And you just follow them through life. And I really liked that. And it was just like marbles over linoleum, really. It just went so smoothly. Page 180, the ghost is reintroduced. But it's such a short amount of time. And I understand that this was an exploration of grief. To me, as you know, I really like seeing how grief is explored in fiction. So that was fantastic to me. And at the same time, there was humor in there. So there were moments like you get when, when you talk about grief, when you talk about somebody dying, you're like, should I be laughing at this? Because there were moments where I was like, oh my goodness, this is straight out of the Looney Tunes. What I didn't like about this book was also the thing that was advertising this book was that this man is supposedly seeing his wife's ghost. And then he even begins to question it later on and start talking with people. Have you seen a ghost? And everyone's just like, oh, you're grieving. I think that was another thing that it did well as well. It talked about the mundanity of grief, the want to try and get back to some sort of normality. And it didn't like say that it was talking about grief. It's just that as you go through the book, there's this almost overwhelming sense of sadness. And you're like, oh, he's not recognized he's grieving and you're in his head. So you're only realizing as you go along what's actually happening. So I thought that was really well done. But it was
sound
a
really
ghostly
good.
aspect that
Annoyed you.
well, it didn't annoy me. It felt like it had just been put there to try and put a different spin on that sort of novel. But again, I did read it incredibly quickly, like 2 sittings. I'm talking, I started it Thursday night and I finished it Friday. It was just so quick to go through. Like I'd get to page 90 and be like, oh, how did we do that? So it does have that going for it. And it made me look forward to more on Tallent, despite what I said all those years. So what did you read this week, Charlie?
I have read James Baldwin's I've got Go Tell It on the Mountain. One of our lovely viewers / listeners said that they had recently read this. I'm sorry, I can't remember who commented it. I knew it was on my shelves and it just prompted me to pick it up. So thank you very much. This is James Baldwin's debut novel, I believe, and we are following a family of characters. We're going through each of their perspectives, but it's predominantly about John. I'm listening to the audiobook. I'm doing a combi read of this.
Right.
The father of the family is a pastor, I think, but he's a very forthright man. He is a very domineering presence within his family. So the book works through different perspectives, and you do hear. So Gabriel is the father. Currently, I'm on Gabriel's perspective. It's an uncomfortable listen in places because of how domineering this man is. But yeah, this is my least favourite, being honest. But only because this is still amazing because James Baldwin is an amazing storyteller. The characters he writes feel so real and so lifelike. And I do love that. I feel like this feels a little bit more disjointed, I think.
Right.
Like in the way that the story is going between the characters, it doesn't feel like it flows as well as his other books. That's just my feeling at the moment. I still love it. It's amazing. It won't be a 5-star read is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you see, I've only read the one James Baldwin and I can't say
which one.
Giovanni's Room.
Oh, I love Giovanni's Room.
And I wasn't a fan of it.
Oh, I love Giovanni's Room. If Beale Street Could Talk, I think is probably my favourite. Is it my favourite? Oh, it's
Someone
so tough.
bought
Another
me
country
a short story collection of his.
I haven't read short stories.
And like, maybe I'll read it one day. It's one of those where, as I've just said about Ann Tyler, like I could revisit it and find that I like it as an older reader, but
I think you'd like Another Country more. So I'd recommend Another Country for you.
Okay. I'll see if my library has it.
It's really, really good. So speaking of library books, I picked up 2 crochet library books from the library. So this will segue into my happy moments again as well. 2026 is the year where Charlie crochets or tries to crochet.
I'm really enjoying hearing about the journey of crocheting.
Yeah, at the moment it's just granny squares. I can't wait to go away from the granny squares. There's so many granny squares. I'm nearly 50 in now.
Oh, so that's good.
I'm 48. So speaking of crochet squares, so I picked up this book. It's Crochet Squares by Kate Eastwood. And on the front cover, there's a little hedgehog crochet square that's holding up a mushroom. We've got some little flowers with bumblebees and daisies kind of things. I saw this and I was like, oh, I'm doing crochet squares at the moment. Maybe I could do a couple of these and add them into the blanket. Although I feel like it would slow me down quite a lot.
It does seem like something that would slow you down. Immediately as you said it, I was thinking, goodness me, you could crochet your family members onto a square and have them all through it.
I wouldn't do that. That's quite a scary thought.
I didn't mean like crochet them. I meant crochet.
crochet around them and then get them incorporated physically into them. That's a dark, dark place. I don't think I'll be doing that. That's quite a terrifying thought. No, Charlie. That will not be happening. Not crochet. Richard, do you mind if my mum and my sisters are just crocheted in the bed with us? No. That's not going to happen. That's a different kind of crochet square.
I'm going to need a minute.
Sorry. Okay.
I'm just finding it very, very funny. It's not that funny. But
no, it's because you're tired. That's tickled you. I only like seeing you tickle.
Oh, gosh. Oh, my. Why? Yeah. We were doing so well.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, go on.
So the second book is crochet related, obviously. This. I feel like you'll give me an eye roll for this one, though.
Most probably, it's who I am as a human being.
It's Tom Daley's Crochet with Made with Love. So Tom Daley has like a whole thing. He's a big knitter. He's got on his Instagram. Obviously he's the famous Olympic swimmer, but he is now known for his knitting and his crochet. And he's brought out like projects in hobbycraft across the UK. He's like making craft accessible. And I saw this, and obviously immediately I was like, oh my gosh, I need some Tom Daley designs. So half of it's knitting and half of it's, or slightly less than half of it's crochet. I am excited to delve into it, even if I just flick through the pages. I mean, I've opened this up and there's like a fringing that's quite immense.
I'm going to tell you something about that book now. I had a copy donated to the charity shop a couple of weeks ago.
No, I love that.
Usually our paperbacks are £1, our hardbacks are £2. And because of what that book was, it had barely been read and everything, I put £5 on it. I thought that's going to be a struggle to sell. It was gone within 10 minutes.
I'm not surprised. Everybody loves Tom Daley.
Apparently so.
And also, everyone wants to crochet and knit. Like, well, not everyone. I feel like now I'm like only living in a crochet tube. So everyone in my feed is just all crocheters. So obviously, I'm obsessed now. I feel like I've been out and I've been buying more yarn. So I've been watching yarn hauls instead of book hauls. I find them very soothing. Literally just obsessed with this whole area. So then I made my husband, this literally arrived just yesterday, some colourful stitch markers. I'm very excited by these. These will come in handy, especially because I'm planning on doing a cardigan, a yellow cardigan.
Finally.
Finally.
Well, I mentioned about a cardigan last week.
Oh, did you? Well,
although to be fair, I did say about making the cardigan out of those squares, and you said you thought you'd be fed up with the squares.
I mean,
yeah.
I think, but then I don't know.
What sort of yellow are we talking? Are you going for a sunflower?
No, I feel like it's more of a, my sister said that describe it as
a daffodil?
No, it's not that kind. Yeah, I'll have to show it to you. Maybe I'll show it to you another day.
Mustard?
Yeah, it's more of a mustardy yellow. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. You're right. The yarn I'm holding it up. I'm showing you. It's this color. So it's described as amber, but to me, it's kind of.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's a mustard. It's kind of like a biscuit color.
Oh, that's even more attractive to me then.
You are going to look like a Lotus Biscoff biscuit.
It's chunky yarn, which does scare me a little bit because I've never crocheted with chunky yarn, but we shall see. The second crochet thing, noses and eyes. So, let's see.
Okay.
It's a pack, so I want to do some anagrami. I can't remember the word. Anyway, it's like knitting crochet little cutesy figures.
Okay.
Cutesy crochet figures. This is a whole thing on Crochet Tube, which I'm saying it's Crochet Tube, even though it might not be Crochet Tube. Anyone that's listening, you can comment what it actually is called. And there's noses, there's eyes. Yeah, can you see?
I can.
Very, very exciting to me. Hopefully this week I will pause my crochet squares, even though I feel like mentally I can't do that. We'll see.
I know you won't do that.
This time next week, we'll see whether I paused it to try to do some figures or whether I've stuck and tried just getting those squares done. Yeah.
I look forward to the update. Right. When you finish the cardigan, will your first wear of it be here on the podcast?
Oh yes, there you go. Exclusive for the pod.
So exclusive to the YouTube channel.
Yeah, the YouTube channel.
Once it's finished, Charlie will appear in the custard biscuit cardigan.
And I will show it on the Instagram. So follow
on the
Instagram
as well. Yes, I completely forget about that. But thank you for
Charlie
mentioning
it. IG, follow the Instagram. Please follow the Instagram. plug the Instagram.
Yeah. Like, share, subscribe over here as well.
Everywhere. Just subscribe wherever you.
Subscribe wherever you can subscribe.
And let us know
follow
if you
us
do
wherever you can follow us.
Let us know if you're doing any crafts at the beginning of this year. Tell us if there's any crafts you particularly enjoy. Yeah, let us know all of that stuff in the comments.
Are you a crotchety crocheter?
Crotchety. I'm definitely crotchety sometimes. We're going to go on to our happy moments.
That was what I was about to say, Charlie. I was going to ask, are we at our happy moments of the week?
Yes. So, do you want to say yours first?
I can do. How many do you have for us this week?
Do you know what? There's a couple, but I will... Yeah, just two.
Oh, just
It's
2.
always more than that, really, but
Yeah.
you know,
Anyway, I actually do only have the 1,
go for
and
it.
I checked with Charlie beforehand that it was okay to mention a piece of media here, but I'm mentioning it for a very specific reason. If you listened to our first episode of the podcast, then you will have seen Charlie haul a book by Paul Mars, and I believe it was Steve Cole. Paul
We
Mars
love Doctor
is
Who.
a writer who I know about because of the Doctor Who books that were being released throughout my childhood. And then since then, I knew about the Never the Bride series, which, as I tell everybody, is a fantastic book series about the Bride of Frankenstein opening a B&B in Whitby. Last year, got the fantastic opportunity to be at the Macclesfield Literature Festival, where Paul was one of the guests during one of the weekends. And he's also prolific on YouTube, uploading booktube videos every single day.
Wow, that's a
And
lot of content.
yeah, earlier in the month, I found out that he had written a radio play, The Goblin King and Me, which I believe has been released in conjunction with something to do with David Bowie. I don't know whether it's to do with however long it had been since Labyrinth, but it follows a boy who wins a competition to go down to London to see the premiere of Labyrinth, and things keep getting in the way. And it's an incredibly immersive tale, which has this almost everyday quality to it, but there's something so magical and mystical about the everyday in here. And it's almost like the character is going through the quest that the character in Labyrinth went through, and it's just superb. But the reason it's my happy moment of the week is that it reminded me so much of the radio plays that I really enjoyed. It's a form that I discovered when I was at uni. I wrote an entire radio series that will probably never be produced, but it is something that I'd not listened to in a long time. Other things get in the way. We have podcasts, we have audiobooks, and there is something fantastic about the form, because you've got to think this, like, I've listened to Doctor Who radio plays in the past. I've listened to Miss Marple plays, Sherlock Holmes, all of those. There are some fantastic radio plays. The Archers. It's like the longest running soap in the world. It allows the listener to really use their imagination to build the tale. And like I say, this one reminded me of what I really like about the form, and I was happy about that, because I felt like it was something that was that I've maligned for a while. Yet listening to this, it's made me want to go back and listen to the radio plays that I enjoy, find some new radio plays, so I was
That's
thrilled by
lovely.
that. And John Coleshaw does a fantastic job performing as David Bowie in this. And I just really recommend it. I believe it's on iPlayer for another year, and that is The Goblin King and Me. And
I'm going to try and listen to that soon.
but you can listen to that on BBC Sounds. I don't know if it's available anywhere else. But that was it. What made you happy this week, Charlie?
There's a couple of things. At the weekend, I went out for lunch with my lovely friend Claire. We were out to lunch. That was really, really nice. And then the second thing, which I was just very giddy over, I'm going to use the word giddy.
Oh.
To the point where I messaged one of our fellow booktubers, because I know she loves Lucien Yak. And the thing is, Lucien Yak. So I had some Lucien Yak vouchers for Christmas, which I was very, very grateful for. I asked for those. Well, you're not asked for those. That sounds very demanding. People were asking for ideas.
I made them get me Lucien Yak vouchers. I refused to be there on Christmas Day unless I got them.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's not. It was because they were asking for suggestions.
Yeah.
So I suggested rather than, because I'm trying to read my shelves. So I was, instead of books, I was asking for clothes vouchers instead. And I love Lucien Yak. This is something, this is not new. I'd been looking at the website because over Christmas they had a sale. Everything I'd wanted had kind of gone, what I mean? So the new year came around, and it was just literally just like a couple of days ago. And I looked on there, and the Natural History Museum have done a collaboration with Lucien Yak, and they've basically released dinosaur dungarees. Can we have a moment, mic drop for that? Dinosaur dungarees. So these are black.
I can't wear dungarees with my body shape, but dinosaur dungarees sound amazing.
Well, they are amazing. These specific pair that I've ordered are black with a white dinosaur skeletons, like various different dinosaur skeletons over them. So I've ordered these dungarees, and then also they come with the styling was with a pink t-shirt with, I think it was like a Tyrannosaurus Rex in red on like this again the skeleton. I treated myself. The t-shirt was so expensive. It wasn't worth what it was. But do you know what? Because I had the vouchers, I was like, I don't care. I mean, actually, did my vouchers cover the cost of both the dungarees and the t-shirt? No, they didn't. Did I care? No, I didn't. I was just so excited by the sight of these dungarees and the pink t-shirt, these black dungarees and this pink t-shirt. I was like, oh my gosh, I need these. I do not need them. I've got many pairs of Lucy and Yak dungarees.
But you don't have dinosaur ones.
I do not have dinosaur dungarees.
You do now.
I do now. They're coming tomorrow. So I've been messaged to say they're coming in the morning. I'm very excited. So I
feel like that is something we need a picture of on the Instagram page.
On the Instagram. So I will be, I'll do a selfie on the stories.
Charlie's dinosaur dungarees, head on over to Instagram. I know I am.
I'll save them in the stories.
Intrigued.
Yeah. There'll be like a Charlie tries Charlie's clothes on the like a highlight. There you go.
The highlight of the year will be dinosaur dungarees.
I mean, I think that this should be the highlight for everybody. I feel like they're already some of the sizes were already selling out.
That does not surprise me.
This is an exclusive range to Lucy and Yak, and there's so many. Every single like item that they're selling with it, I do want all of it. I'm not going to get all of it. It was just 2 things I treated myself to, but yeah, the range is amazing. I hope they do another collaboration with them in the future, just because like I said, dinosaurs and dungarees is a pairing that should always go together. So that's me. That's my happy moment.
Dinosaurs in dungarees.
No, again, that's not something that would work. That would be quite terrifying.
No, it really wouldn't. Those poor T-Rexes.
Why are they? No, they would just. They wouldn't be able to fit in. You're saying them wearing the dungarees?
Yeah, so like if a T-Rex was wearing dungarees, their arms are so short that the straps would keep falling down.
I mean, that's true. But I feel like
if a pterodactyl was wearing dungarees, then it wouldn't work because of the wingspan.
Do you know what though? I feel like Lucy and Yak are such great designers that they would design a proper
Lucy and
fitting.
Yak would tailor dungarees for dinosaurs.
I can imagine them doing that. They have the ability.
I think that you should put that towards them.
Yeah. Well, there aren't any dinosaurs around that I know of, unless there's there's something going on
with
that
the
we don't know
animals that
about.
are around today.
Sorry?
I'm just now envisaging the animals that people put in clothes.
Oh, like with dogs. So you could get Lucy and Yak,
dungarees for dogs. Yeah.
This could already be happened. This may have already happened. Have they done that?
I
don't know how I feel about dogs in clothes. I don't know how I feel about dogs in clothes. How do you feel about dogs in clothes, Charlie?
My dog won't wear clothes.
Yeah, there's lots of animals that don't.
She's a naturist.
But some animals love it, don't they?
Oh yeah, my sister's dog she had previously, which died a few years ago at the grand old age of 15. She used to love being put into like warm clothes, but to be fair, she very limited on the amount of fur that she had. And my sister pampered that darn dog. So when she got put in her little pink hoodie, she was thrilled.
That's so cute.
Yeah. Whereas my dog, if I try and put her in a raincoat because of the darn weather, she'll just lie down on her back in the living room trying to tear it off.
I can imagine Sally doing that.
Yeah.
So anyway, let us know if you have any pets that like wearing clothes.
Do you believe that dinosaurs should be wearing dungarees?
Let us know. Yeah.
That is the Charlie thing of the week.
Yes. I don't think anything is going to top the Dino Dungers for me this year. I feel like that's going to be my high point of the year.
Well, if that is the plateau of the year and you've had it in February, then great.
It's all downhill from here.
Most probably.
There we go.
But is that all your happy moment for the week?
Yeah, it is. I'm going to call it.
Okay, then. That's brilliant. If you want to talk about anything we've talked about here, then please feel free to do so. You can do that on the YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us in the Discord. But for now, I'm disappearing to walk the dog. Charlie's got to go and see a dryer man. So ta-ra.
Take care, everybody. Thanks for listening.